The M40's bolt-action sniper rifles are the workhorses of the United States Marine Corps, and the A5 variant is the newest on the block, made to supersede the A3 version back in 2009. Now, TM is not the first to take a crack at the M40 rifles, with VFC and Ares both coming out with their respective offerings over the years. But with the popularity of the VSR-10 system, it was only a matter of time before TM released another sniper into the wild. And let's face it, no matter how many times a gun has been done in the past, when Marui finally does it, everybody pays attention. Now with so much hype and anticipation, does the TM M40a5 challenge the VSR-10? I guess we're here to find out. What's up guys, and in typical Marui dramatic fashion, here is their M40a5, finally sent to us at the end of the year. And what better way to close out 2016 with a review of one of the most anticipated guns for this year. Now some of you guys may ask, is it a VSR-10? And I'm going to come right out and say it. It's not. It's not a VSR-10 in any way, shape, or form. But it does have a lot of merit to itself. Now let's start with talking about the body. The body itself is made from that well-known Marui plastic, as what we've come to expect with that type of quality. Everything else, like the outer barrel, this mount over here, the rail, as well as the housing for the magazine, trigger guard, it's all metal. Now under this muzzle brake is a 14mm counterclockwise thread for you to thread on whatever else you would like if you do not like this particular brake. Then we move to a 280mm inner barrel that's 6.05 in diameter. Finally, towards the rear is the buttstock that comes with several of these spacers in there for your distance, however you want the butt pad to be placed. Then it's the cheek riser, which is also adjustable. Now I'm pretty sure you guys are more interested in the internals rather than the externals of this gun. Now there are a few notable differences between this M40a5 and the VSR-10, and those differences are the cylinder head, cylinder spring. In case you didn't know, it's the spring right here inside the cylinder. Loading mechanism and hop-up adjuster. Now the cylinder head and cylinder spring are both proprietary, so they will not fit in your VSR-10. But the second thing I want to talk about is the hop-up adjuster dial right here on the bottom. Very convenient to access, and I believe it gives you more control as to how much or how little hop you want compared to the old small lever that you found on the side with VSR-10 systems. Now the final difference is the loading mechanism itself. Now that is not easy for me to explain without the help of a few graphics, so let me put on the proper attire and I'm going to explain just how it works. Now for some of you purists out there, you're going to find an odd feature on the M40a5 that's bound to drive some of you guys nuts. And that is, it seems like Marui took a page out of Ares and their design using a feed tube that feeds rounds from your magazine directly to the hop-up chamber. Allow me to explain a little bit more. The mechanism works by first loading your magazine full of BBs, 35 rounds to be exact. Upon loading the gun, it will release 16 rounds into the gun itself, which it will hold internally. If you were to fire the gun now, it should only about 19 shots, not being able to shoot all 35. This current mechanism requires you to refill your magazine back up to full after your initial load. After you reload a second time, you will then be able to shoot all 35 rounds, knowing that there will actually be 16 rounds constantly in the gun itself. Now if you intend on changing the weight of your BBs, there's actually a lever right here that allows you to eject all the BBs that are currently in that feed tube. Now, the gun itself is lighter than the VFC and the Ares ones. The texturing on the front as well as on the handguard here feels very comfortable, but it doesn't seem to offer any extra grip. And now for the moment of truth. The bolt itself is short stroked, slightly longer than the Striker from Amoeba from what I can remember. But in terms of smoothness, this is light years ahead of what was on the Striker itself. So smooth that I can pull it back with nothing more than my pinky. Now, the trigger itself is a little bit long travel, but the wall is very pronounced. The trigger can be adjusted by removing the trigger set and readjusting the screws yourself to your desired pull. But out of the box, it's not bad at all. Upon closer inspection, you'll see that there is a cocking indicator right here. If I cock the bolt, you will see the nub protruding right here, letting you know that the gun is cocked and ready to be shot. If I shoot it, it goes back in. Then you will find the magazine release right here in front of the trigger, as well as the safety. Slightly stiff, but I can see it loosening up over time. For kernoing, I'm using 0.2 gram BBs. And the gun shoots at a very stable 300 FPS. Now if it's a little hot for you guys, don't worry. I'm sure Tokyo Marui would make a gun ready for your country's legal fire limits. So here we are back at the warehouse. I'm standing 30 meters away from our target downrange and I'm about to shoot the M40A5. I did a little bit of adjustment of the hop-up, so we'll make sure we get the best grouping as we possibly can. Let's go. The trigger is very crisp, even though there is a slightly longer travel. The bolt was incredibly smooth on the action. Let's go take a look at our results. Those results speak for itself. A little bit of a hop-up adjustment, and look where most of my shots landed, right in the center ring, with the flyer being only here and here. An extremely accurate gun. I don't expect anything less from Tokyo Marui snipers. Now at 30 meters the gun performed exceptionally well, and I really wish I had a longer range, like around 60 meters, to shoot it, to really test out how accurate this gun is going to be from much longer ranges. And if you guys are interested in other rifles that are M40 variants, don't forget to check out Tim's reviews right here on the screen.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of RedWolf TV. I'm Tim.
Now we came into this review with a statement. Is the M40A5 a challenger to the VSR-10? And in all honesty, I have to say that I don't think so. For a gun that's going to cost twice the price of a VSR-10 itself, that gun doesn't even come with a bipod or a scope. While we see that Tokyo Marui is making some changes to their sniper platforms that are good, like the hop-up adjuster, some other things about the gun I really don't agree with. Having such a prolific system as the VSR-10 itself, I don't see why they would change some of the fundamental things to that system for this gun, like the cylinder head and the cylinder spring. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now with all that said, the gun is extremely accurate. And if you're like me, looking for a beefier sniper rifle or just an alternative to VFC or Ares, you can perhaps give this one a chance. Now, given the fact that some people out there might also be impressionists and you need this gun to finish your impression, this could be the one for you as well. So for cool snipers and many, many more, don't forget to check out our online store at www.redwolfairsoft.com. My name is Mark, aka Blue Steel, and I'll catch you guys next year in 2017 on the next episode of RedWolf TV. Have a good one.